I was saying earlier, man, I had a crazy story because earlier you asked me, do I know Mayor? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That's out in the Dominican Republic. He live out there, but he's not from there. I think he's from I think South Carolina, North Carolina, one of them. But yeah, I know Mayor. You know, before Mayor got real popular on YouTube and was exposing paperwork and getting people locked up. You know, before he became like the Whack 100 of YouTube. You know, Mayo was a retired veteran, you know what I mean, slash businessman, you know what I mean. He owned property in the Carolinas, North and South Carolina. He owned property in DR, Dominican Republic. Now, how I met Mayor was I was taking a flight, you know what I mean, because I was getting homesick. I was out in Dallas, running around getting money and shit. I got a little homesick, so I'm like, well, damn, nothing to think I'm just take a flight to New York, you know what I mean? So I booked the flight to New York and, go to the airport, board the plane. And then mind you, I'm sitting first class, and Mayor, is sitting first class. I ain't know him at the time, so I'm sitting, I ain't thinking nothing of it, you know what I mean? And then, Mayor, he says to me, he said, that's a nice watch, man. Basically complimented me on my watch. So I said, thank you, you know what I mean? He asked me, was I a rapper or something? I'm like, nah, rapper, you know what I'm saying? And then, what I mean? I asked him, where you from, homie? You know what I mean? He said he was from, South Carolina, that he's a retired veteran, you know what I mean? He owns property, you know what I mean? He does real estate. He got, homes and, in the States and in DR. And that he's been living in DR for I think 5 years now, you know what I'm saying? So, long story short, he said he was, in the DR and, how the women are beautiful out there and, but I was more trying to figure, trying to get into the conversation of how he started doing real estate, how, cause I wanted to clean up my money at the time, you know what I mean? Cause, you can't be running the streets forever, you know what I'm saying? So, and my father always said, he always said you can't always have all street niggas around you. You gotta have some squares, you know what I mean? The squares and the lanes, they the ones that clean the money. They the ones that sign off on the car for you. They the ones that sign off on the house for you, you know what I mean? They the ones that clean up your credit, so you always gotta have a couple squares around you. You know what I mean? Niggas and bitches, that's just a jewel for my niggas that's listening in the streets, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, well, I'm asking questions like, how'd you, start your business? Like, how'd you, get real estate here and there and in DR? He was explaining, So, I took his business card. He was like, yo, man, whenever you in, he was like, whenever you in DR, just come through. I got plenty of women, all that, you know what I mean? We discussed business. All right, cool. So, I went to New York, stayed in New York for a couple of days, whatever. Went back to Dallas, hustling and shit, getting money. My boy SD, you know what I mean? Because, at this point, me and SD, we rocking, you know what I'm saying? We get money and shit, you know what I mean? I done took on his beef, you know what I mean? And in the street, you know what I mean? We 10 toes, you know what I mean? Me, SD, Duke, few of my New York dudes I brought up there with me, few of the Dallas niggas that was already there. We getting money. But SD, he was stressing because, the haters was getting to him. His wifey Jade, you know what I mean, was stressing him out. He was like, man, I gotta get out of here, man. It's a lot of stress, man. I need a break from this shit. You know what I mean? Plus his jaw was stressing him too. So you add all that in, you know what I'm saying? You got your wifey stressing you. You got the jaw stressing you, and then this street shit, you know what I'm saying? So I told SD, I said, well, yo, man, I met a homie out in DR, you know what I mean? I'm trying to learn how to do real estate and shit, you know what I mean? He said he gonna, show me how to do that. I was like, let's go out to DR. Not only, I get to learn how to do real estate, but we get to kick it in DR, fuck with a few of the mommies out there, you know what I'm saying? He said, I bet. So I call up Mayor. You know what I mean? Told him, yo, me and my boys, we gonna fly out there, you know what I mean? So that way not only we could, fuck with the bitches and take a vacation from the city life, the stress from city life, But, we could talk that business about real estate. Alright, cool. Me and SD, we fly out the motherfucking DR, the minimum republic and shit, right? We get there, check into our hotels and shit. So I want to say the next day, cause when we got there, we was jet lagged, so I checked into my hotel room. SD checked into his hotel room. We had the top floor. It was 2 floors on, at the Trump Tower. It was 2 floors. No, not 2 floors, 2 rooms, you know what I mean? But we had the whole floor, you know what I mean? So, like, SD room was like, he had that whole suite to himself, and I had my whole suite. It was like basically like 2 apartments. He had 1 apartment, I had 1. We rented the whole top floor at the Trump Tower in DR. So anyway, next day, I call up Mia. I'm like, yo, man, we're coming through. Send us the address. He said, all right, send us the address. We pull up, and I don't know it. I think it was like some type of cab, so I don't know that. They ain't even got fucking Uber and all that shit in DR. We had to go to a cab stand, some shit. So, matter of fact, no, I'm lying. We didn't. No, we drove. Good. We rented. We rented the Ferrari. Yeah, so we rented. So we driving this shit. You know what I mean? So I'm driving this shit. SD, this nigga already drinking. You know what I mean? He, sipping them tequilas and shit. So we driving. We pull up to the address. Big ass motherfucking house. Like, this house looked like Scarface house, you know what I'm saying? Like, big ass motherfucking, mansion and shit in DR. The way it was set up though was like, we went in the gate, and it's like this long path to the house, but on each side is like water. So he had boats on one side, boats on this side. So, SD like, damn, this shit's nice. And he was like, damn, blood, this shit's nice. He always talking about blood and shit. Damn, blood, this shit nice. So I'm like, alright. So we walk in, so we see the boats and shit. Like, alright, this nigga got paper. We walk, we getting closer to the house. Now we see the cars like that, and there was like 12 cars in front of the house. So we like, shit. You know what I mean? This shit looked like some shit motherfucking Michael Jackson, lived in and shit like Neverland, some shit. So we had to go up these long stairs. Yo, these stairs were so long, my nigga. It felt like, you ever seen Rocky? When this nigga nigga, we was tired, so we climbed up the stairs, so we finally get to the top of the stairs. Ring the doorbell, right? Chick opened the door. At least I thought it was a chick. Chick opened the door. It looked like a girl, but the voice is kind of through, so it is like, they said something to us. I was kind of taken back, and I looked at SD, he was kind of confused, like, he's like, what the hell? Kind of like, I don't know if you ever seen Love and Hip Hop Sydney stalled, like how, like at first glance, you might think it's a girl, but when they start talking, the voice, it was like that. But I'm like, nah, maybe I'm tripping, because like I said prior, I met Skull Mysterious, her voice is deep, but she's all woman, you know what I mean? So I'm thinking, maybe it's that. So I'm like, alright, so they, they invite us in. So, Maya, he comes from the back, he just got out the pool, he like, what up, fellas? And, shook hands, what up? He's like, yeah, I just got out the pool. Let me, go upstairs and, get dressed. I'll show y'all around town, whatever. And, we could sit and really talk about real estate, and I could show you how to do it, Like, all right, cool. So he goes upstairs. We sit down on the couch. SD leans over to me. He's like, yo, blood. He was like, yo, what the fuck this nigga got going on, man? He was like, yo, that ain't no girl walking around, you know what I mean? And I'm looking. And the more the person talking, they asked us if we wanted anything to drink. And we said no, thank you. So I'm like, wow, no, man. I was like, maybe the voice is deep. And SD was like, I don't know, my nigga. So he's sipping his drink and shit. So next thing you know, we chilling. You know what I mean? A dude. Now this for sure was a dude. It was a dude because he had no shirt on, and he had on short shorts, and he's watering the plants. And he was like, hey, how y'all fellas doing? SD said, oh, hell, fucking nigga. SD jumped up, pulled out his motherfucking gun. He said, motherfucker, what the fuck you got going on? I said, whoa. So then the guy started screaming, Mayo. He started screaming for Mayo, right? So Mayo running down the stairs, he's like, what's up? So then SD points the gun at Mayo, like, blood, what the fuck you got going on up in this motherfucker? And then I'm like, I'm trying to calm SD down, like, yo, let me know, because I'm like, yo, man, we popped this nigga. this ain't America. Like, I don't know how to get out of jail or how the laws is out here, you feel me? So I'm like, yo, SD, chill. So I said to Mayo, I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this, man? I pointed, to the dude. And then Mayo was like, nah, man. He was like, yo, he said, I ain't trying to tongue y'all out or nothing. I ain't trying to, P. Diddy y'all or nothing. He was like, but, like, my lifestyle's my lifestyle, you know what I mean? I'm happy with myself. He was like, he said, I take comfort in a woman. Sometimes I might take comfort in a man, you know what I mean? I love who I love. That's what Mayo said. So me and SD looked at each other like, what? And then, he was like, but nah, I wasn't trying to, trick y'all. And he was like, yo, I really got no chicks. He was like, we're gonna go see the chicks. And then I stopped him in mid-sentence. I said, yo, I said respectfully, I was like, I think, we're gonna have to decline that offer. I said, no disrespect, but, what I mean, this ain't how we get down. We ain't judging you. You know what I mean? I told Mayo, we ain't judging you. I'm sure you're a cool cat, but this ain't, this ain't what we into. And the whole time, SD still got his fucking gun out. You know what I mean? And I'm like, nah, I think we just gonna roll. Mayo understood, you know what I mean? 'Cause at the end of the day, Mayo's a mature dude, he understood, he like, you know what I'm saying, I understand. But he said, I apologize, fellas, I wasn't trying to, do no funny bit, but, he was like, I'm me, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna deny who I am, you know what I mean? So we like, yeah, alright. I told SD, let's roll out, and we got the fuck up out of there quick, you know what I'm saying? But that was a crazy ass story, man, so, to see Mayo now, on YouTube, being successful with the YouTube thing and all that, I ain't a hater, I ain't mad at him, but, he definitely come from that P. Diddy, you know what I mean? That P. Diddy school. I guess that's why he's so successful, because the motherfucker definitely got houses and cars and shit, you know what I mean? But, nah, man, I ain't trying to be a realtor that bad. I'm good, my nigga.